Today's project is repairing an Emerson multiband radio here. It has a variety of problems here that I can see. First off, there's something wrong with the power switch, and also the controls are somewhat noisy. So there's a few issues that we have here now. We have a noisy controls and a power switch problem. We'll tackle those first and see what other problems may arise. Another problem is some very bad battery leakage in the battery compartment. Somebody left these in here, and it seems like modern batteries really leak pretty quickly. I'm not sure the age of these. I'll try to check them out, but I'm just going to pull these out of here and clean it up lightly. I'm not going to go crazy on it. This battery here on the negative side has actually rusted itself. I had to really yank it to get it off of here. It rusted itself to the spring, so that's not good. The power switch was easy to fix. The problem was it got dry right in here where this kind of like a sliding mechanism is, and it was just hanging up just due to friction. So a couple drops of standard oil has freed that up. I'll show you here now. So it has nice latching action right now. Should be good for many years to come. So we'll move on to cleaning the other controls. Cleaned all the potentiometers and the sliding controls and switches, and I also tweaked up the alignment, especially on FM. The oscillator was off, and it was one of these two here on the tuning condenser. And so all I had to do was adjust that to get it to line up for the front slide dial there. And I peaked all the other coils for both AM and FM. The AM was off a little bit, the FM was off slightly too, but overall they weren't too bad except for the alignment of the dial on FM. So I think this is a wrap. I'll go ahead and put it back together. I checked it on both AM and FM operation. The battery compartment's pretty dirty. I'm not going to clean that up too much, but I did connect a power supply across the plus and minus here, 9 volt, and it's working great that way. So I'll shine up the battery terminals back here a little bit, and that should be good enough there. So I'll put it back together, and then I'll be back in a second. I took a Dremel tool and cleaned up all the corrosion right here in the battery compartment. These were just all rusted really bad, and now they have good continuity. So at least the battery compartment's usable. This radio was actually made by Sanyo. All the parts inside are Sanyo. It's an Emerson model TPX-55. It's a pretty good radio. It's nice and hot on AM and FM. Good reception. I didn't mess at all with the 8-track player because the head broke inside, physically broke. So that's a non-starter. Okay, well, hope you got something out of this.
Some cities operate in the long run.
Okay, so as you see, it's on now. Before, the power switch would not engage and stay engaged. That's working great. All of the controls are nice and quiet now.
As daily travel resumes, cities are facing new challenges. Driving rates are rising, but public transit ridership is staying low. Eve Strother, a lawyer in Boston, says she won't be getting on the T.
Volume control is working.
You don't want to run into someone who's, not being careful, to not know how your commute will go.
She feels much safer in her car. And in Philadelphia, David Keespay doesn't own a car and would love to keep taking transit with a face mask, but it used to take him 40 minutes to get to work. With fewer buses running during the pandemic,
I would expect my commute to be
So they're all working good now.
15 to an hour and a half.
These controls here were clean or lubricated in the exact same manner as the power switch. They simply needed a drop of oil on the plastic parts that engage, and that's all they needed. That also goes in and cleans up the contacts as it is. These controls here, you lubricate from right here. You use some 226, this stuff right here. It works very good to clean these slider controls, and the same thing with the volume and the balance. They clean, lubricate straight through, the same as the ones on top do. You do it right from the front. As you see, the light works fine too. This radio's obviously had a hard life, but it performs well. It'll still give somebody some good use. So I'll return it back to my friend, and he can go from there.
You live on a block that can close, or you have a delivery.
Okay, I hope you got something out of it. Bye.
You still